Chapter 7, Alcatraz Now. In 1972, Alcatraz became part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area. The next year, it opened to the public as a national park. It's been a popular tourist spot ever since. But it's not just people who come here. The rock is the perfect nesting ground for many types of seabirds. They build nests in the rubble that remains of the warden's mansion and other buildings. They hunt for fish in the tide pools. California slender salamanders and banana slugs live among the ruins too. Human visitors arrive 362 days a year. They come by boat and follow in the footsteps of the 1,545 federal prisoners before them. After a long uphill walk to the prison basement, they are given headphones. They choose from 11 different languages and take an audio tour of the grounds. The English language tour is narrated by former guards and inmates. Ooh, that sounds kind of interesting. Now visitors can learn the truth behind the Hollywood myths. What they mean by Hollywood myths, if you go to page 100 and 101, there are lists of movies that have been made based on the stories of Alcatraz. So, there is The Birdman of Alcatraz, Escape from Alcatraz, Murder in the First, and The Rock and part of X-Men The Last Stand were filmed or set in Alcatraz on the island. All right, keep turning to page 102. On the tour of Alcatraz, people enter the dreaded cell 14D. Remember that from a couple chapters back? They say it's haunted. They stand in the strip cell and try to imagine what it felt like to be there in the dark, cold and hungry and alone. They see chips in the concrete floor where grenades exploded during the Battle of Alcatraz. They peek down the corridor Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers tunneled into. At the height of Prohibition in 1930, about 1 out of every 650 Americans was in jail or prison. That seems high. Wow. In 2008, it had risen to 1 out of 100. That seems really high. Violent crime has actually fallen since the bloody days of gangland. But today people are thrown into prison for more reasons than in those years. As thrilling as the legends of Alcatraz are, it is important to think about what life on the rock was like. At times, it was horrible, but it could also be helpful. Warden Johnston believed that structure and training could prepare inmates for life after prison, a better life. Not every warden thinks the same way today. With more Americans in prison than ever before, lessons and methods from the past can be valuable. For now, Alcatraz, the island of the pelicans, has returned to the birds. But the rock will always remain a stark and fascinating reminder of our past. That is the end of our book. If you keep turning on your PDF document, page 106 and 107, show a timeline, an Alcatraz timeline compared to a world timeline, what was going on around the world, as those things were also happening in San Francisco and at Alcatraz.